Yeah, no, that's definitely true. So with even with like the practical ways, bro, I think it's things that we applied in our life that we'll be talking about.
Yeah.
And yeah, so another point is where I realized what I needed to work on is when I went for a career test, and then this lady, she did a personality test on me, and I found out who I am, not necessarily like who I am, but like where I fall into, because you got like
I get
that.
you, man.
It's really accurate, but it's not a definite perfect description of who you are. It's just like
Yeah.
it gives you a really good idea. And then a lot of
Mm.
those things made sense. And I saw that I valued people a lot more than I valued myself, or I would place people's needs in front of my own,
Mm.
where it's a really good thing to care for people, and I still do. But I think back then I sort of wanted to like please people and
Mm.
have them please me in return. So I wanted to do it for my like own satisfaction and my own validation. So it's like I was doing something good for someone, and I had the expectation that they would do like treat me the same as I treated them. And that disappointed me a lot because it didn't necessarily happen. I would be like, I'm so kind to you, and I value you and I care for you, but it's like I'm not receiving this back. But now I'm at
It's
that
true, man.
point where yeah, and now I'm at that point where I care for someone and I'll do something for them. I'll tell them how much I value them, and because I just feel like that's me, bro. And I just feel like if I think about someone and I think about giving them advice, or just telling them do this instead, or like helping someone out, then I'll do it, but I'm not expecting them to do it for me. So it's not I'm not doing it so that they like me more. I'm doing it
It's good,
because
man.
I feel that I
Because
need
of
to
the good
do
man
it,
that you are.
just because of the good person that I am. And it's fine if they don't do it back, because I'm just doing it because of who I am. So I
Yeah,
think
man.
that's
That
that's
mentality
also a
switch is
point
important.
where yeah, it's really important, and that's where it started. Where after that personality test, I got a list of my strengths, and then a list of weaknesses that I had. And like some weaknesses were I cannot easily say no to people, and I need to start
Mm.
taking more care of myself. So I needed to become a bit more selfish in a way
Yeah.
that
It's
I
good.
needed to start taking time for myself and not just giving all my time to other people, even though it's important. But if you burnt out, like I came to the realization, if you burnt out, you can't really provide value to other people then,
Mm-mm.
because you'll be in your room and you'll just be slacking. You'll not feel and be the best version that you can. Whereas where you're just a bit more selfish and take time just for yourself to recover and just to work on yourself, then
Yeah,
you'll
man.
be a better person for them. So in the
Literally.
end, it's beneficial to make an impact in someone else's life. So
And
that's
people start to
and
respect you
also
more
say
here, man.
they start respect you more because they're like, okay, this guy he sees himself as a good person,
Yeah.
and you start carrying yourself better, and
Yeah.
that's when people will also be like, okay, this guy values himself, so I'm not gonna just go there and take advantage of this guy because he doesn't know how to say no. So that's what I started working on, and it's difficult and it's uncomfortable for me to say no to people, but it's something that you need to do. Like you have to do the uncomfortable stuff in your life, push
Yeah.
out of your comfort zone. So that's
Very
really
true, man.
important. And then yeah, so funny enough, I also went out and started talking to more people, like just random people at school, and I met this guy Andre, and he introduced me to the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that's where I think it all changed in my life, because then I was like, this is the type of mindset I have, and I'm not like an outsider. There is people that's in the same space as I am. And that's
Mm-hmm.
where I started getting into more self-help books. And
That's
I
good.
started forcing myself to read, because before I didn't read like a lot. I would just, I don't know, do some other stuff, game, most of the time,
Get
and
you, man.
yeah, watch series. And I started implementing reading into my life. And it's difficult, like you say, it gets better with time.
Yep.
So at that time, I think I was reading like two books. I read two books in grade 11. That was way back in grade 11. And then grade 12, I think I went on to six books. And last year, I think it was 10. And so it starts
Wonderful, bro.
getting more
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
that progress. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So
I
that's
think
a practical thing.
it's important, man, to feed yourself with like the right type of knowledge, man. I know for myself,
Hmm.
I want to say like a big thing that played a role in terms of my like self-improvement journey, and I want to say this to anyone who's listening to this right now. You're probably on the right path, because here you are listening to a podcast of two guys who are speaking about how you can better yourself. So you're probably on the right path already. But YouTube and podcasts and these kind of things are, and books, these things are here to help you, man. And if you start educating yourself, I think that's the first step, is like educating yourself. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How am I going to get started? And that's what we're talking about in this video, for example. But for us, it was other people that we were watching on YouTube, man, and books, where we're receiving this
Yeah.
information about how you can build yourself up, how you can become a more valuable man, for yourself and for other people, like you say, man. So start educating yourself, start reading books, start watching YouTube videos, podcasts. There's a lot of like really valuable people, man. I'm sure we can get into that at some point, of like some of the people that have played a role in our lives, like on YouTube and on podcasts and that kind of stuff. But I think, if you're listening to this podcast, I think you're taking a positive step for sure. This is a community, that wants to push each other forward. So that's what we're here to do for sure. But yeah, definitely start educating yourself on the topic. And then but the thing is, don't just fall into a trap of like, cool, you're reading books, you're watching YouTube videos all the time on like how you can get started. But you got to start taking action, man. I think that's one thing. It's like we
Yeah.
said in the beginning.
You have
You
to
take that
apply it.
first, you take that first step, then then you've got the ball rolling, and then you just got to keep going on
Hmm.
it, man. To keep on taking action, target those weaknesses, cut them out, be harsh on yourself, and you'll start to see improvements. And that's the thing. Like, it's like we were reading in that book, like you're saying, man. Action is actually what causes the motivation, not motivation which causes the action, man. So you got to start taking
Yes.
the steps. Then you'll start to feel more motivated, man. And that's how I'm feeling even right now. So it's a great thing, man. It's quite beautiful, and I think that's why Daniel and I are so
Really good.
passionate about self improvement, because we just know, like, we just know the impact it had on our lives, man. I mean, I'm the
Yeah.
same, bro. I think a few years back, bro, I was a nerdy guy. Like, I'm not saying I'm the finished article at all right now, but I think I'm in a lot happier of a place. I'm a lot more proud of who I am, and I'm able to go into the world, yeah, and try and make an impact, So,
Definitely.
yeah, man, definitely, it's good stuff, bro.
Really good, bro. Yeah, so it's definitely it's such a good thing to start educating yourself, but you have to apply that knowledge. So you can't just be watching, because this stuff is entertaining sometimes. Like I find it entertaining a lot.
Yeah,
Like whenever I have time and I'm eating or I'm just like lying in bed and I'm bored, then I would like take out my phone and start watching a YouTube video on self-improvement. And yeah, you can't just watch it. You have to apply the stuff that they give you. So
yeah, you have to, man.
for example, if they say you have to journal and this is a question that you have to ask yourself, like mindfulness and analyzing yourself,
Mm.
that time I'd pause the video and I'd write down the
Yes,
question,
so good, man. Do it
continue
right there
watching
and
the
then.
video. Yeah,
Mm.
and then after the video, I would really like take time with myself and answer that question honestly, like really answer it honestly. And that's actually where the difference comes in, because you'll be learning more about yourself. You'll be learning where you've disappointed yourself and how you can start satisfying or not, like yeah, satisfying yourself and keeping the promises that you made yourself, because that's when
Amen.
you'll start valuing yourself. So at
Yeah, you
this
can see it.
moment, my like yeah, so I'm also at a stage now where my value doesn't come from how other people see me, but my value comes from how I see myself, and most importantly from how God sees me, because
Amen.
God loves all of us. And yeah, so that's what that's just my religion, bro. So you should start trying to see yourself in the way God sees you, and
Amen.
start keeping promises to yourself, that's when you'll start feeling like motivated and more happy. And
Yeah.
that's where you'll get out of depression and anxiety. Because I think
Amen.
that's just a signal your body and like your soul gives you, that it's telling you you should be doing better. And
Sure.
so either you can go down one path or another. Like path one being, okay, I'm just gonna get deeper into depression, deeper into anxiety. I'm gonna start indulging into pornography, or I'm
Yeah.
gonna start drinking or doing drugs, and like just
Yeah.
to satisfy, to make myself feel better.
Mm.
But that's
Yeah.
temporary. Like it lasts so like just such a small while,
True,
where
man.
that's instant gratification. Whereas
Yeah.
you can go down path two, where you start working on yourself and it's uncomfortable for a while, but then it's delayed gratification, which
Yeah.
lasts so much longer, because then
Oof.
it's not just an action that you take, bro. It's a lifestyle. It's a
Amen.
lifestyle. No,
Amen.
it's your life. And yo,
Sure.
that's amazing, man.
So
Yeah,
good, man.
so what really helps as well is going to the gym, because in a way it
Yes, I was
clears
gonna
your
say.
mind. Yeah, it clears your mind. You Because then you also be spending time with yourself, and you'll just start having these thoughts, and you'll be
Yeah.
seeing, okay, I'm improving myself because I'm getting a healthy body, and a healthy body houses a healthy soul. And that's really
Amen.
true. Like you said just now, since you've been gymming again and working out a lot more, you've been feeling better, happier, because
Yeah.
it gets toxins out of your body, because you sweat a lot more, you drink water, and it kind of purifies you.
It does.
You can look at it in that sense, like everything that needs to get out of your body, it gets out, and you start building new cells, because it tears your muscles, it breaks it down, and it builds it up, and you get better sleep because you exhaust yourself in the gym. So obviously you fall asleep earlier, you'll get in that 7 to 8 hours, which is
Mm.
some practical stuff as well, It just keeps going, man,
That's
and
good, man.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I just wanted to add as well that there is a point you start where you fall back, and you sort of get like into this place where you're not as productive anymore. You're not going to the gym as much. And it just starts feeling like a bit bad again, because obviously you have highs and lows in your life. And by saying that, I just want to say that we all go through lows. We're not always on highs, and we're not
No.
productive all the time going to the gym every day. Some stuff comes up in our life where it does impact us emotionally and mentally, and we take a beating. And then where the important thing is, it comes in by picking yourself up again and just continuing with the journey. So just because you fell once doesn't mean you can't get back up, and you fallen totally off of the wagon. You can get back up, and you can start going again, and start getting to the place. And getting to those low places actually makes you stronger, because you come back better, because you've learned a lesson. You'll be like, so why did I start falling off the wagon? Like, where did I go wrong? You start like asking yourself that questions and analyzing, and then you start correcting it. And then next time you won't do this, like make that mistake. You might make it one more, like once or twice again, but like there's new challenges that's gonna come. So you level up as a person, as a guy.
It's good, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, man. So yeah, I think those low points that you get to, man. Good point that you make there, bro. I think, I think even last year I went through one of those. It's weird. I started the
Mhm.
year off like so well. I was like, we started this page. We were really pushing ourselves on this journey of self improvement, and we spoke about it, before. But we went through like at least the thing is actually both of us did. But I'll speak about it for myself. I went through this low period, and it's weird, man. You're like, Philip, how did I get into this spot, man? Few weeks ago, a few months ago, I was feeling on top of the world. I was constantly pushing myself. And then, like you say, it just takes a dip. Sometimes these things happen, man. And that's going to come on your path. You're going to start off and things are going to go well. You're going to start seeing results. But then you might hit a low, and it can be from, anything that happens in your life. Sometimes it's just an external factor, that you can't even control. But like you say, man,
Yeah.
your reaction is the most important thing. Another thing that we've learned from the Stoics, hey, man, is that you can't control what happens to your life, but you can control how you react to what happens in your life, man. So that's what, and we've spoken about that many times before, man. So very important point there, man. But yeah, I wanted to touch on that in terms of going to the gym as well. I think, it's probably the easiest place you can start, So like, let's say you are right at the beginning of your journey right now. I think that's one of the easiest things that you can start implementing into your life. And it's probably the thing I did first as well. I just started doing push-ups. I remember this was even like back in grade 7, just before I entered high school and that kind of stuff. I was quite a chubby oak back then, and I had quite a lot more body fat, and I was self-conscious about that, and people would tease me sometimes. So I started doing push-ups and sit-ups at home. Like I just pushed myself. I was like, I want to get rid of this aspect of my life. So you would catch me at like late at night, just doing push-ups and sit-ups in my room so that I could lose this weight. And it paid off, and I did lose a whole lot of weight going into high school, man. So you've got to get started, I think, like we said, take that action, go to the gym, find someone, hopefully a friend that you can go to the gym with, and start like lifting heavy weights, man. It solves so many problems, like we said there, bro. It's crazy, man. So start lifting heavy weights. I think that's a very important thing for young guys. Also like what I wanted to say is like a point that you made, the hard times make you stronger. It's almost it's a weird thing, but it's quite beautiful as well. It's like pain makes you stronger. So like you're going to the gym and you're lifting heavy weights. It's painful, man. You're tearing that muscle, like you say. You're putting in like work, it's painful, but that makes you stronger, like physically, like in terms of your muscle. But it's the same for your mind as well, putting yourself through pain actually makes you stronger, So, and that's what we were saying in terms of like seeking discomfort and seeking going out of your comfort zone. That's also a painful thing in a lot of ways, but that pain makes you stronger. So actually seek out pain in your life, in a way, to make yourself stronger. I think as young men, we want to be, strong, physically, mentally, spiritually. I think that's what we need to be, in this generation. I think that's something that is called for, and if you can get to that point where you're working yourself on your strength, physically, mentally, and spiritually, and you get to a point where you're strong in all those aspects, I think, bro, you're going to be like a rock, and all these waves are crashing against you, but you stand firm. And I think that's a beautiful thing, and that's what we want, man, as young men in this generation, man. Man, this stuff just gets me so excited, man. I won't lie. Like
it does, bro.
This stuff gets me pumped, man.
I'm so like
stuff,
passionate about this, bro. And I just want more guys to get into this and know that you don't have to stay who you are. And that's definitely another book that played a huge role in my life. So it was Fixed Mindset, Growth Mindset. And I recommend you read that book, because it tells you that you can start at this young age where you have a certain skill and you think that you lack in it, and you can start working and like start smoothing it out, and later on you'll see, I'm getting better at this. It's the same and you have to constantly practice. So with this self-improvement and this zone and like, let's say, sphere or world that we're in, bro.
Yes.
Because it's something that like not a lot of people know about it, or men know about it. But it's this place where you have to keep improving. It's a daily thing. There's still things that I work on daily. I must be honest, sometimes I'm still awkward, and like it's just something that I'm trying to smooth out. And it takes time, like you said, and it takes constantly working on this. So it's not just a place where, okay, now I can settle down and become content.
Yes.
No, you have to find the next thing to start working on again. It's gonna be like this for the rest of your life. You have to be educating yourself on a daily and for the rest of your life until the one day you die and you go to heaven or whatever you think about, like afterlife. But it's a daily thing and it goes on for the rest of your life. So once you start this journey, it's a path that goes on.
Better than yesterday, man.
Yes,
that's what we're all about. That's what this page is about. Constantly looking at the person you were yesterday. How can I improve on that?
On that, yeah. So I think with that, bro, I think we have so much more to say, but so that the video doesn't get too long, we'll definitely make a part 2 of this, bro. Yeah, so
definitely.
remember to have a growth mindset and know that whatever you feel that you're lacking, it doesn't have to stay like that.
You
You
know,
can grow and it can improve. So, like you said, with your weight, it didn't have to be a factor the rest of your life. And you started doing that push-ups and that sit-ups, and now you're more lean. So it doesn't have to stay the way. So the way you were brought into the world, you don't have to be that and stay that person. You're supposed to be growing all of the time.
it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What I want to say to finish off, yeah, start today. I think for anyone that's watching this video, a young guy that's looking to get into self improvement, take into account all these things we've said today. Keep on doing more research, but start today. Like, start working on
Yes,
yourself
definitely.
today, like right now. Don't waste any
Mhm.
time. But yeah, man, beautiful stuff. That was such an enjoyable video to record, man, and enjoyed the
Yeah.
conversational aspect of it as well, man. The way that we just been flowing here. So hopefully you guys did enjoy that as well. Please let us know your thoughts about the video and about your thoughts on self improvement and these kind of thing. As a young guy in this generation, 2022, yeah, please just let us know your thoughts. We always hear in the comments. We will respond. And yeah, man, excited for what's to come. We're going to be making videos at least once a week. The Instagram's pumping, so better than yesterday is where it's at, man.
Definitely, bro. And if you found this video valuable, please share it with a friend
Yeah,
who you also want to, like, who you've seen has been going through like a hard time and who needs to hear this. That's what we're here for, just so that the message goes out and we can leave a mark and improve other people's lives. That's
amen,
basically what Better Than Yesterday is about. Awesome,
amen.
man. Yeah, so bye guys.
Yeah, thanks so much for watching.